Hello YouTube, so I'm back again with another video, and this one is titled Always a Narcissist Created. So I'm going to talk about how a narcissist kind of evolves into a narcissist. I think it's really a process, even though, as we know, this is biological. It has a lot to do with inheritance and spirituality and stuff like that also. But I'll be looking at it from kind of like a way a person evolves over time, from like a child to a teenager to an adult. So I think the way it works is these people, they're born into a society, right? And society, as we know, is toxic to begin with. And I think they inherit the bad parts of that, and that's how they're basically able to actually become a narcissist. So, for example, I remember when I was growing up, I remember seeing kids' personality change between different grades. For example, when I was in kindergarten, I remember this one kid, and his personality at the time when he was in kindergarten wasn't aggressive, and then I remembered when we moved to grade school, he became more aggressive. Like, he literally, his personality changed over like an entire summer or something, because after kindergarten there was like a break, and then I remember going back to school and seeing him, and his personality changed into a more aggressive personality. So I think it has a lot to do with how a person grows and who they're around. And then I also think a lot of it has to do with how people process information, and basically it has a lot to do with going inwards. So these narcissists, they weren't able to go inwards and find like a place where they could meet with God. The Bible talks about the sanctuary and stuff like that. And these people, they don't seem to be able to go inside and really introspect about anything that they do. And I think that's why they're able to abuse people and kind of just be very aggressive in society and manipulate and stuff. And a lot of it seems like it must have been that they were doing it for a long time, to where it became second nature to them. So, for example, they are able to believe all of the stuff that they make up in their head about people and stuff. Like, for example, they might see somebody and they create this false image of the person, and then they're able to go around and tell other people all sorts of lies and everything about this person and destroy their reputation, which is obviously a conscious act, right? You have to be conscious to be able to go around and destroy a person's reputation and everything. But they do it like, they just do it like it's second nature to them. It's like reflex. They just abuse people naturally. So it seems that these people, like, it's something that they were doing from they were really young. But for me, I do remember abusive young people, like bullies. Like, for example, in society we call children that abuse other children bullies. So I guess that's like an example of how they evolved. But as an adult, they become really destructive, because they could destroy your entire adult life, which is basically where you create stuff for your next generation and you make your mark on the world, right? You don't want anybody to be destroying your life as an adult, and that's really where the narcissist is very dangerous, because they're able to destroy your adult life, and that's really bad. Like, they might trick you into doing some sort of business deal with them, but it's really because they're narcissists and they're just looking for a new source of supply to abuse and stuff. They're not really trying to grow a business. They're really just a narcissist, a demon or whatever, and they're really just trying to destroy people. So you have to be careful of them in that regard. And Yeah, like as I said, like these people, they basically evolved into who they are, and like as an adult, it's very dangerous because, like for example, they have this thing they call the narcissistic abusive cycle, which is where they trick you into getting into a relationship with them, but they're not really doing it because they love you or they want to be in a relationship with you. They're doing it because they are looking for a new a new victim or whatever. So for example, they have this phase they call the love bombing phase, where they really speed up the process of getting you entangled into some sort of relationship with them. Might it be like professional or like any like monetary kind of relationship. They want you to give them money and they tell you that they're gonna do a business deal for you or whatever, but they're really just trying to get you entrapped into a spiritual contract with them so that they could destiny swap with you. So you have to be careful of them. Anybody that wants you to do something with them very fast, you have to be careful. For example, you might get a new job and you go to the interview and there's a lot of red flags and everything in the interview, and then they're like, oh, you could start tomorrow or whatever. They want you to they don't want you to think about it. They want you to start tomorrow. They want you to start as soon as possible. Like anything that wants you to start as soon as possible, you have to be very careful with that, because that doesn't give you the time to think about it. A lot of these narcissists, they like to say you have to strike when the pen is hot or something like that. Like, why do you have to strike when the pen is hot? Like, why can't you wait and think about it? Like, that's the kind of mindset they have. They want to do everything right now. They don't want to wait. They don't want to think about it. And that's how they're able to entrap people into spiritual contracts where they destiny swap with them, and then they basically get your destiny, and then you get their bad destiny. Then you might end up homeless. Then you might end up not being able to pay your bills. Then you might lose your job. Then you might lose your car. Then you might literally end up on the street. And they're still living in their house. They still own their house. They still own their car. They still own their business. Meanwhile, you're homeless and stuff like that. This is what these people do, because they're basically like spiritually corrupt, and they don't see anything wrong with anything that they do. They actually want you to end up like that because they want to be in control. So if they're able to get you homeless, it means that you probably have to come to them for help to not be homeless. If you want to get back an apartment, you have to come back to them to get help. So that's why they do it, because they want to continuously be in control of everything, including sex, including relationships, including every single thing. Like, these people are literally biblical demonic people, like demonic entities, and they really twist reality. Like, for example, they twist everything they can twist. They don't live in real reality. Everything they do is twisted. For example, you might literally just be walking down the street, and you're obviously just walking down the street, but they want to twist that into some weird narcissistic inverted reality or something like that, where you're not just walking down the street, you're doing something totally opposite of walking down the street. And it's really like, these people are, like, as I said, these people are crazy, and they're really doing it because they have a very low self-esteem, and they don't want to go inwards and look at themselves and think about what they did in the past and repent of any. They don't want to repent of anything. They just want to be in control of every situation that they're in, and I think people should be careful of these people. And they are basically witches and warlocks, and they don't respect anybody. They just want to be in control. They just want to abuse victims and get more victims and everything. Like, I lived with a narcissist, and I'm telling you, like, these people will literally treat you like you're the scum of the earth and abuse you and destroy you and destiny swap with you. They don't care about anything that they do. They don't care about they don't respect any form of human documentation of respect or norms or whatever that existed. Like, all of that stuff was created by good people. Narcissists are the total opposite. If a narcissist contributed to any positive thing in society, it's really because they were trying to escape or they were trying to protect themselves from certain situations or whatever. They really, like, I'm telling you, they sneer at everything. Like, they're like snakes, like hiss. They literally hiss like a snake. Like, once you see somebody that's hissing like a snake continuously, that person is a narcissist, and you have to be careful of that person, because to continuously be hissing your teeth like a snake, it's me. Like, the Bible talks about snakes. It talks about the snake in the Garden of Eden, and like, you come across somebody that's continuously hissing their teeth for no reason, like, that person is obviously a narcissist. So these are the things that I'm telling you. Like, these people, they evolved into becoming demonic people. And over time it gets really so bad to where it's like their brain has like totally kind of just been given over to wickedness. The Bible talks about being given over to wickedness. And the narcissists, when they get really old, they're not even able to actually think anything positive. They're not even able to do anything positive. When they get really old, they just start trying to destroy everybody and everything around them. They call that the aging narcissist. That's when they're like old and they just want to destroy everything in their path, like a total war until they die. They're trying to destroy as much as possible before they die. They call that the aging narcissist. And that's basically the last part of their process before they die. Like, it's really crazy. Like, these people, they have like covens that they call witch coven. They have a covenant like between groups of them. And what they do is they own like a lot of, they're wealthy and everything. They usually are wealthy because the way they do it is because they destroy so many people, they're able to get all of that wealth. And basically, when they get all of that wealth, they're able to. That's why you see them with like rental apartments and all of the other stuff. They have buildings, businesses, and everything like that because they're destined to swap with so much people. They're spiritual thieves. So what they do is they have, like, for example, they do this at workplaces and in like rental, leasing, and everything. They destined to swap with you. So they bring in a new person and they abuse that person and drain that person like a vampire, what you read about in Dracula. And then eventually that person becomes so destabilized that they might end up being homeless. And then the narcissist just gets another new person and they do the same thing over again to that person. And it's really disturbing stuff. Like, these people are not human beings at all. They're some form of aliens or something. I don't even know what they are. But I'm telling you, like, these people, they're literally the Matrix. I made a video recently saying that the narcissist is the Matrix. And I think that's 100% true. It might sound absurd, right? How could the narcissist be the Matrix? But we have to think about what the Matrix represents. And I think the Matrix really represents what the narcissist has become. For example, you might be trying to move forward in your life, right? And you continuously end up in a bad situation and a roadblock at major parts of your life. For example, at your job, at your career job, in like your relationship, your marriage, your house that you live in, your education, everything. Like, these people are literally everywhere, all roadblocks. And that's basically what the Matrix is. And I think the narcissist is the Matrix, and like, they need to be stopped, and we have to find a way to escape these people, escape their control. They want to keep people in spiritual bondage forever, so we have to be careful of them. That's what I have to say today. Thank you.